I've actually yet to hear a good explanation as to why we continue to do whatever the Israeli regime wants. I hear a lot of people say, oh, they're a client state of the US, they're an outpost of Western imperialism. Okay, that sounds like it makes a lot of sense, like what we do in Ukraine, and it makes a lot of sense for Ukraine. Like Ukraine kind of being like a vassal state of the US, because clearly it is the US that is pushing all of this with Russia under the guise that we care about Ukraine's freedom. It's not adding up with Israel. It's just not. Why are they the outpost of us when so much of what they're doing right now is not in the US's interest? It's not in our national security interest. It's not in our financial interest. We already have a bunch of other allies in that region. It's not like Israel's the only ally of ours and that's why we need to be allied with them, because they're the only one in the region we can use as an outpost. We're allied with the UAE, with Qatar, with Saudi Arabia, with Egypt, and with Jordan. In fact, we give them all a ton of military aid in order to pay them off to get along with Israel. Everyone hates us, bro. Okay? Do you guys not sit around thinking about how there's gonna probably be another attack on the US? Maybe you guys don't worry about that because you don't live in New York City. When you live in New York City and you're like the epicenter target for that kind of shit, you think about it. And yes, I worry about that because I know right now we're fomenting a ton of understandable hate. There's going to be understandable blowback from this. There are going to be a lot more people that hate us and hate the country because of this and what we have facilitated and propped up and paid for in Gaza. So I need a better explanation than just they're a client state of the US, because it's just not adding up when you think about other client states that the US has had in order to fuck with Russia, because this country is still so fucking obsessed with Russia and the fucking Red Scare. It's not adding up. They're taking money from us. Okay? They're taking money from us. They wouldn't even condemn Russia because they didn't want to get on Russia's bad side. Okay? So we do all this shit for them, but when it comes to them needing to do stuff for us, they don't. They'll literally throw us under the bus like they did at the UN when they didn't want to vote against Russia. Americans will get held and killed there, and we seemingly have no leverage to get them back, even though we're the ones paying for it. It's just, I don't know the answer. I just know that they're just a Western imperialist outpost is not adding up. It just doesn't add up, especially when you think about the way that they exercise power over Washington, D.C., and the way that they exercise power over our politicians, and the inexplicable excuses that we make for this so-called vassal state that we don't make for anybody else. The way that American politicians grovel at the feet of Netanyahu when he visits, and how they refuse to ever criticize Israel, ever. Our own politicians don't mind ripping our own country apart. The Democrats and the Republicans do not mind one bit ripping the country limb from limb in order to do partisan bickering and bullshit, not caring the effect it has on the country. But you will never see any of them criticize Israel. They are extremely concerned about making sure that Israel has a bipartisan support image. They care more about there being social cohesion and support in Israel than they do in our own country. So feel free to explain it to me, because to me, it's not adding up. It's not adding up.